Hey guys, welcome back to Dark Souls 3. We have just started the Ashes of Ariandel DLC. We are here in the painted world of Ariandel, and yeah, it's great. Level design, enemy types not so much, but the level design is absolutely amazing. I mean, I could see this being put in like Sekiro or Bloodborne, and it would fit perfectly. Well, it wouldn't really fit perfectly, but I mean, just as like an optional side area, I don't know, it could be interesting. Anyway, in this part, we're going to be exploring more of the painted world. And the first thing we're going to do in this episode is fight a boss. Because right over here, right past that bonfire, you come to this flowery field, and right over here is our first boss fight. Now, technically every boss fight in this DLC is optional, since the DLC itself is optional. But as far as required fights for completing the DLC goes, you do not have to fight this guy. But what you get for beating him is very useful, so I will not deny that. Anyway, here we have the Champion's Grave Tender. And he's got a dog. He's got two dogs with him. I thought he only had one dog. Oh my god, I'm... He has three dogs. Okay. I'll be honest. I could have sworn he only had one dog, but apparently he has three. That is, Huh. Alright then. Um... New plan, bait out the dogs, and then just kill them with my sword instead, because... Or maybe... Hold on. Okay, so Chaos Bed Vestiges and Black Fire Orb sort of have the exact same casting animation, so... I don't think it would make a difference which one I used. I think Black Flame would be quicker, but... I don't know, it's probably not as accurate. Wolves can sort of sidestep you in this game, so... Maybe I'll just try to bait them out again. I mean, you saw that, right? I was locked onto him, and my character just, like, swiped down on a completely different side of himself. That was weird. Well, whatever. The dogs are dead. Now we can begin this cool boss fight against pretty much an NPC-looking enemy. And he is actually pretty tough. The weapon he uses is pretty decent, so you don't want to underestimate him, like I clearly did the last time I fought him. Now the gimmick to this fight is that when you get the Champion's Gravetender's health low enough, he will summon the big dog that we saw in the last episode. He is not a pushover, so just be very careful. When the big dog comes out, you sort of have to, like, micromanage both of these enemies at the same time. As you can see there, we heard his howl. Alright, we were able to kill him. Good. I was worried that we wouldn't be able to kill him fast enough. Oh no. Okay, it's fine, he didn't hit me. Ow. I don't really want to cheese him with pyromancy, but I can't hit him with my sword. He just keeps fucking... He keeps sidestepping me. Oh god. I knew that would happen. No! Fucking son of a bitch. I hate this enemy type. You will notice the Gravetender Wolf. The the moveset that the big wolf uses is actually almost identical, if not completely identical, to the same moveset as the Royal Rat Authority in Dark Souls 2. I believe they might have just sort of copied his moveset over into this game, but reskinned him, obviously. Which is fine, but obviously it is very annoying for a multitude of reasons. It's difficult to hit him, and it's very easy for him to hit you because his hitbox is the size of the fucking moon. But I digress. We're going to try this again. I'm going to mute my mic this time just so I can concentrate a little more, and hope you enjoy the fight. This isn't even a hard boss. Why is it that I can beat Nameless King on the first try, but I can't beat one of the easiest optional bosses in the game in like less than 3 tries? What is wrong with me? I honestly don't know. Alright, I'm sorry guys, I'll try again. Obviously we could skip this boss fight, we don't really have to do it, but I would like to show it off at least. Well, here we go again. We get the Champion's Bones and the Valor Heart for defeating the Gravetender's champion. And here you can get a little nod to Dark Souls 1, I guess, with the grave of Sif and Artorias. I don't know, at least that's how I always interpreted it. Valor Heart is the weapon that the Champion's Gravetender used against us during the fight. It is pretty good. Obviously, it has that weapon art that allows it to, like, shield bash and do a ton of, like, stagger or stamina damage to you. So it's pretty good for that reason. It's pretty much like the only sword and shield weapon. It's a sword and shield weapon in one. So it's really cool like that. And obviously it's a got good quality scaling too. So there you go. Now with the champion bones we got from that fight, if you burn these, that allows you to do the undead match, which is a PvP thing, but it's like an arena PvP thing. So it's a lot like the arena PvP from the DLC in the first Dark Souls game, but kind of similarly to that. No one really does this because people much prefer to just PvP. People much prefer to do PvP in the normal game instead. And now with the souls we get from this DLC, we'll continue upgrading the damage on our pyromancy. And yeah, once again, I didn't really want to cheese that enemy. I did sort of want to fight it legitimately, but we already died to it 3 times. And there's also the fact that the enemy itself is just super annoying, so I didn't want to be stuck on that for too long. So with that out of the way, we can progress through the next part of the DLC, which is infinitely better in my opinion. Because it doesn't have bullshit enemies. Well, actually, that's not entirely true. There are still some bullshit enemies in the next part of in the next area of this DLC, but how should I put this? I guess they're not as annoying, because it's a little easier to sort of telegraph their attacks. Alright, the ladder is supposed to be over there. For some reason it's not there, so I guess I have to teleport back to a bonfire. That's annoying. I don't know why the ladder disappeared. That's where it's supposed to be, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, yeah, I think there's another way we can go. We don't have to take that ladder anyway, because climbing all the way up that ladder in and of itself is very, very boring. Just like 5 minutes of climbing to get to a cliff side that I need to get to in order to progress through the DLC. Nah, there's a much quicker way to get up there, and I think we'll just take that route instead. The loading times in this DLC are a lot longer than the loading times in the main game, I think. Like, traveling between bonfires in the DLC seems like it's longer than the travel times in the normal game. I don't really know why that is, but oh well. That ladder right there is the one we have to take to get down onto this cliff edge here. To get to the next part here. Now, we don't have to go this way, but there is an item over here. I think it's a useful item. I could be wrong. I am wrong. Yeah, I am wrong. That's not a very useful item for us right now. I mean, I suppose it is useful in the early game, but not so much the late game, especially if you're doing the DLC after the main game. A lot of people will usually save the DLC for, like, the end game. But I have seen people play through the DLC before beating the main game, and I'm just like, how do you guys even do that? Like, I just feel like the enemies here are just so much tougher by comparison. It's ridiculous. I suppose you wouldn't have much of a choice anyway if you were doing, like, a Soul Level 1 run, you wanted to do the DLC. You would sort of have to come here at a low level anyway. And I know people have done Soul Level 1 runs of this area as well. Mad props to the people who were able to do that. I mean, that shit is probably fucking insane. Anyway, coming down here, there's another little ruined settlement here in the middle of this frozen wasteland. And down here, a bunch of bird people. Yeah. this is another one of those things where I'm gonna have to turn down the game volume a little bit because From Software decided to crank the audio on these enemies to 500%. I don't know why. I guess they thought, like, oh, add in a nice little jump scare enemy, but there's literally like 20 of them. I don't know if you need to have jump scare enemies. I mean, I guess it's sort of meant to be like a horror game, but still, I don't think the jump scare sounds are necessary. It's just a little bit asinine. I would expect that kind of shit in Resident Evil, but not so much Dark Souls. Any Souls game, for that matter, really. It's more annoying than scary, because the sound is so fucking high-pitched ear rape. Anyway, new enemy type right here. This is another enemy type that I think is kind of bullshit. Yeah, for that reason right there. Even if you block their attack, they inflict heavy amount of bleed to you. Yeah, it's another one of those enemies that doesn't really stop attacking either. So I think we're going to be trying to find a way around most of those enemies in the future without having to fight them. Because I don't know if I want to deal with that many enemy types. They are not, in my opinion, very, very fair enemies. Honestly, you're probably going to hear a lot of that kind of criticism in the playthrough of this DLC, on my end at least. Yeah, you can talk to this guy and learn a little of his background too, but he doesn't really add anything to the story of the game. He doesn't give you any items either, so I don't think anything's negatively impacted by you killing him either. So, like, honestly, another one of those things where I guess you could just ignore him. Yeah, but yeah, like I was saying, you might hear me make a lot of criticism of this area. It's, again, I just want to enunciate. It's not because I'm bad at this game that I'm calling bullshit on the enemies. I mean, if I were bad at this game, I would have had to make like 5 videos dedicated to the Nameless King. But I beat him on my first try, so I'm obviously not bad at this game, but you know, you gotta give criticism where it's due. Because you can't just defend every aspect of this game. I've had people tell me before that, oh, whenever you make criticism of an enemy design or level design, it's always your fault, or it's always like the other person's fault. It's never the fault of the game developer, for some reason. And I just want to let you guys know right now that I don't take those kind of stances. I love From Software, but I don't love them enough to literally compliment them on every little thing in this game. Because this game has many flaws, and unfortunately this area is chock full of them. But that is fine. Because we will progress through it. Nevertheless, what the fuck was that? We will progress through it nevertheless. And yeah, we'll do it by ear, I guess. I don't really know where I'm going here. I guess I know where I have to go, but I'm looking for some optional items here so I can show off some of the other stuff that you can get in this area. I don't exactly remember where I'm supposed to go, because it has been a while since I played through this DLC. Now, when you come up here, these guys are going to come out the woodwork, more of those bullshit enemies, and they're just going to attack these crow people. So I think we're going to avoid them and just let them attack those crow people, because I could not give 2 fucks if they die or not. Also, yeah, coming around these corners, you will be, like, ambushed by those guys. And they'll try to push you off the cliff, too. So just keep an eye out for that. And these guys will inflict toxic, so obviously, good idea to watch out for them, too. I wasn't doing a very good job of avoiding them, though, to be fair. Alright. Now you can drop down here. This is not where you're supposed to go, but you can drop down here to get a few more items. Again, I don't know how useful these items are going to be. I just like to show it off that you can go through this area because I'm doing a playthrough, and I'd like to show you guys that, you know, here are some paths you may have missed on your first playthrough of this game. Even though this game is like, you know, 20 years old, and people have probably already found every single secret in this game, even if they've never played it. Crow Talons. That is a very good bleed weapon, and it is functionally the same as the Crow Talon weapons that you can get from those enemies that we were fighting earlier. Even the weapon art is really good. I don't think I'll be able to show it off, though, because I don't have the stat requirement for it. So, that's unfortunate. I don't really know the purpose of opening that door. It's, I guess, meant to be a shortcut, but at the same time, you know, you could just walk around. You don't really have to go up that ladder. I digress. We're going to continue through this area here. I'm going to try to avoid killing most of these crow people because they make a very obnoxious sound when you kill them. But I will kill the spellcasters at least because they are kind of annoying, hitting you with spells from the back. Anyway, coming into this tower, I believe if you drop down there, you can open another little doorway that you couldn't open from the other side. But again, there's no point to do that because there isn't a way back up here from that room, so it's not even really a shortcut. It's more or less just like a beginner's trap. Like, that crystal lizard's a trap, by the way. There's a guy right up there who's going to ambush you as soon as you run after him. And honestly, I don't really need the Twinkling Titanite from the lizard anyway. So I'm just going to cheese him. Alright. And I think there's more items down there, but I don't know if I'm going to get any of that shit. Because I believe you can get an armor set and a weapon in one of those buildings if you open the door. The thing is, if you drop down into one of those buildings to open the door, you will have to climb all the way back up, so I don't really want to have to do that and waste time. Because that would be kind of not good for recording a playthrough. Now you can drop in through the attic here onto this little scaffolding thingy here. These little beams above the room. Now there are two of these bullshit enemies in this room. What I would suggest you do is come over to this corner of the room and bum rush the door. And just try to get through the door. And as soon as you do, open this gate. Because this gate is a shortcut back to the bonfire. The reason I say bum rush it is because those enemies can get out of that room. Just like that. Where the I just saw him, like, shoot... oh, shit. What the fuck? Dude, how did you do that? Oh, he took fall damage. Now, this one is different from the other ones. This one uses a rapier, but it is still very annoying because it uses throwing knives and shit to stagger you. I would like to heal myself, please. I would also like to kill these enemies because there is a useful item back in that dark room that we were in. Oh god. Okay. One more guy we have to fight. They seem to be pretty weak to dark magic, though, so I think I'll lead with that. Oh, shit. Hello? He's, like, sticking through the wall. Is he, like, glitched out or something? Oh, shit. I actually hit him. Wow. Yeah, he must have gotten stuck in the wall. Oh, wow, that was funny. I did not know they could get stuck in there. Alright. Well, once you kill them, you can get the Way of Light Corona, which I believe is a miracle. Yes. It is it's pretty much you launch a disc at an enemy, and then it returns to the person who casted it. So it's sort of like a boomerang, but shaped like a light disc instead. And I mean, it's okay. I don't really see people using it in PvP, so I don't know how good it really is in the PvE game. But if people don't use it in the PvP, then I can't imagine it's too good in PvE either. So my final verdict on that one will be it's okay, because I don't know if I am right or wrong in saying whether it's good or not. Alright, I think we have just enough time left in the episode to fight another enemy here. But after that, we're probably going to have to end the episode off. So let's get it. Lady Frida's bodyguard is coming for us.
Every fleeing man must be caught. Every
Sir
secret must be
Wilhelm.
unearthed. Such is the conceit of the self-proclaimed seeker of truth. But in the end, you lack the stomach for the agony that you'll bring upon yourself.
Alright, so this is actually a pretty tough NPC enemy. His weapon does a lot of damage, and he's pretty skilled in what he does. Oh god, he actually hit me with that.
I trust you've learned your lesson. Inside the cold, painting curiosity could be your cross.
Okay, I didn't honestly expect that to kill me. I didn't know it did that much damage, but anyway. Yeah, that's Sir Wilhelm. Lady Frida sends him after you to sort of kill you, because she tells you to leave the world, and obviously you don't listen. So she has to send him after you because, you know, she doesn't want you snooping around in this painted world where you don't belong. Now, I am being chased by this dickhead. Hopefully I can de-aggro him if I go over here. I would like to fight Sir Wilhelm again, but I do not want to do it with this guy up my ass. Because that will be painful. I think I'll be fine if I just sneak in here, though. Okay. Cool.
I've seen you get put into the end.
Now we'll try again. Alright, not too weak to magic damage. Very weak to fire damage, though. Oh, he casted the anti-magic spell on us, similar to the anti-magic barrier in Demon Souls. So yeah, he has the power to do that too. That can be kind of annoying, I guess. I'm gonna use an Ember because I don't want him to kill me in one hit again. Oh shit! I completely forgot he could heal himself. Let's just go ahead and stop that from happening again. God damn it. Oh, he does have a lot of hyper armor too. That's why I'm trying to be careful about fighting him. No. What? I hit him and it still healed him. I guess he has hyper armor during the heal animation? The fuck? That doesn't even make sense. Okay.
swore an oath, but I have failed you, Lady Elfrida.
Yeah, that's her full name, but no one really calls her that because Lady Frida just sounds so much better. The contraption key is used to pull this lever right here, which lowers a bookcase, or a shelf, or whatever, a ramp, to get up here. And then that other thing we got, the Onyx Blade, is a really good weapon, especially if you're a spell sword build like myself, because it scales heavily with intelligence and faith, and it has a decent, not a decent, but a okay-ish amount of strength and dex scaling as well. I imagine you can upgrade that more if you infuse the weapon. I don't know if you can infuse the weapon, but maybe if you upgrade it, it'll get better. But yeah, the weapon art allows you to imbue it with that black flame that he was using in the fight. So it's a pretty solid weapon, and I highly recommend it. But anyway, coming up here, we're greeted with this little person drawing on a table. But I think we'll leave off the episode here, and we'll be exploring the rest of this room and the rest of this area next time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you next time.